правильно, Мона Лиза. Ну так вот, эта машина Мона Лиза дрифт-гонок. Хан по полной программе ее нашпиговал. Кованые поршни, твин-турбо, поставил новый коленвал, новые штоки. Чувствуешь, к чему я веду, чувак?
Hello, hello, hello. How is everybody doing? Glad you guys like the intro. Glad you guys like the intro. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is Saturday and we are here to discuss all things Squid Games. I am excited. I absolutely love the first season of this show. And I think I talked about it, but y'all, that was OG on the bed / on the floor Tyra. You know how evolved I've been since then. We're going to talk about it for real this time, but not by myself, of course, with my guests backstage. Be sure to show love, like on all platforms, not just mine, but theirs as well. Definitely not going to waste any time. If you guys are getting in here, be sure to be courteous and hit that like button for us so we can have a good time all while we discuss this season. Bringing her out first because, you know, technical difficulties ain't going to stop nothing. Ashley, how are you doing?
You have me muted.
I got it. No, it's fine.
You have me muted.
No, I don't.
Oh, no, it kept popping up. It was on my screen like host has muted you. I'm like, oh, I'm muted.
Oh,
Chad.
you know, we having a time, but it's cool.
Yeah. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Hi. Happy season 2. Yeah, I have thoughts. I have many thoughts about it. Not all good. Most aren't good, but we're going to try to find something sweet in the midst of it. No, you know, I just recently binged season 1, which I think was heads and shoulders above and better than season 2. Season 2 played with my time, my will, and my emotions. But of course, we'll get all into it, Tyra. Yeah, they played with my time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Ashley, stay ready so she ain't have to get ready. EJ, the TV junkie, what about you? How are you doing? And let me know if you're muted.
Hey, y'all. Yeah, I was, but it went off now. So, but what's up, everybody? What is up? Listen, y'all know I don't really have a lot of negative things to say about a lot of things, you know, but I'm not the happiest camper, but maybe I'm on Squid Game overload because I too binged watched the first season. And I think that might be playing a part in this whole second season situation because I didn't get a break in between it. So there's just a lot of things. And it not necessarily the kind of the season, but more so I got issues with the main character and I got a lot of them and I got a lot of things to say about his trifling still. So I'm ready. I'm ready to talk about it. Let's talk about it.
The way I'm not coming off of any nostalgia for that first season, like I watched that first season in real time. And when I told y'all, I was bragging about it to anybody who would listen. I was like, oh, y'all need to watch Squid Games. Y'all need to watch Squid Games. It's the best show on TV. I absolutely loved everything about it. So, but in preparation, because it has been some time, I did go and rewatch that whole first season. And then I watched this one again just to make sure I wouldn't drop anything that I needed to make sure I picked up. Ashley, pros, cons, overall thoughts.
Okay, so let's get into it. I don't know. Okay, so let's talk about it because overall the general theme, and we kind of talked about this a little bit on the live earlier, but overall the general theme that I took away from season 1 was kind of this battle between human nature, right? Like what's right and what's wrong. What's the moral thing? What's the immoral thing to do? You know, is greed really that significant to the masses, right? I think it questioned your morality, things like that. It kind of called into question, and it had a very dark and intense tone. When we go into season 2, I was like, what kind of like drug-induced fever dream are we in? It was very whimsical in parts. It was very playful in parts. And I'm like, this is not funny. This is not whimsical. I think that there was a campaign against the Gen Zers, basically saying that they were all terrible, high, just don't take anything serious. And I was like, what is this messaging? Like, what are they trying to convey in this second season? I don't know. I was torn because they were throwing a lot of things at us. And I feel like if you were going to reintroduce us to the detective, he lived, which I was hoping he did, follow through with that. Like, I need more of that. You know what I'm saying? I think it had potential. All of it was there. But it just didn't land for me. As far as the pros, Gi-hun, y'all know, got the business. If you watch my reaction on season 1, you know that me and Gi-hun ain't no love lost. I thought he's a degenerate gambler, terrible, took his time after he won the money, didn't secure that boy until a year later. He was just simping on his pimping, and I hated him. In this season, I feel like he was on a redemption tour, but even that didn't quite land for me, Tyra. I hate when I don't get resolution. There's a way to give us resolution and give us a cliffhanger. They failed miserably, but to round it off a little sweet, it was, I love the vibrancy, beautiful gowns, the colors. I like the introduction of a couple of characters. I enjoyed Grandma Tsunade. That's not her name, y'all, but the mama who was mama and everybody. I loved her, but that's it.
Pretty little disclaimer. Do not take anything to heart if we mispronounce anybody's name. It is not done with any malice. We're doing our best here. EJ, pros and cons, overall thoughts of season 2.
Listen, Tyra, thank you so much for saying that, because I am the queen of messing up somebody's name. I done called that man Keyon, Ji-yon, Soo-young, everything but the right name. But it is no disrespect. I just can't pronounce these names. Listen. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the pros first. So the pros, I thought that this was an interesting study on human nature, mankind, morality, and all of those things, because that's exactly what I took from this. And it was interesting to watch people's decisions based on their financial situations and how much does money really play in day-to-day lives, and the choices that we would make if we were put into high stakes pressure, like knowingly and then unknowingly, or vice versa, unknowingly at first and then knowingly. How much further are we willing to go, right? So I thought that overall theme was an interesting one to explore. So that is my biggest pro, is that I like the thought process of where they were trying to go with that. The cons of it is that the main character is so unlikable. He is such a horrible individual on every single level of horrible. There is no redeeming this character. No matter what they do, I will never like this character. I did not like him in the first season. I hated and loathed him even more in the second season, because why are you pretending? At this point, to me, he's just pretending. Like, you don't really want to do what you say you're trying to do. I don't believe it. I don't like it. So that's my cons of it, is that the main character, I can't get into him. I can't find empathy. And y'all know that I can cry. I can do all things. I can feel sad. I got feelings. I have no feelings for him. I have no empathy, none whatsoever, for probably over half of these people, but mainly for him. And then I did like the grandmother too. I loved her. I thought her character was great. I fell in love with the little pregnant girl. I just wanted her to be okay. Like that was pretty much about it. I almost found myself liking the main the I can't think of what his name is, dude with the front man. I almost liked him better than I like the main character. That's horrible.
That's his name, the front man.
Yeah,
our main character, I actually like how despicable he is. I like how irredeemable he is. I love that he's so unlikable. I really think that's the point of the show, that anybody who would aspire to succeed, win these games, just at all get their hands on this money would be this person. Like it's always the ones who don't need it, who hit the lottery, the elderly. You know what I'm saying? Like I got life to live. Let me hit the lottery real quick. Like I enjoy his character. I really do enjoy his character and how despicable he is, but I am partial to an unlikable character. This redemption tour they tried to send him on, we're definitely going to talk about that. But I didn't say too much on my. I'm not even gonna get into pros because my list wasn't long enough. Okay. My list wasn't long enough. My lists for cons were way longer. I knocked a couple of them off of here because I wasn't even gonna have space. But yeah, the lack of compelling characters here. We got a few here, but when I tell you I was intrigued and into every single character in that first season. The pacing, the writing, the character arcs, building, fleshing everybody out. It was perfection first season, damn near. I cared about everybody, even the assholes. Everybody. Here and that whole these Gen Zers that were introduced here, or whatever you want to call them, this influencer crowd. Where you get them folks? Where did you get those folks? I found it very hard. Shout out to you, EJ, for caring about some of the characters, but I could give a damn. I could give a damn about pretty much everyone. The tone. What happened? Who's responsible? Because I want to know. What the hell happened to the tone of this show? Stakes were always high. There was always this intensity, this seriousness. The show was goofy as hell. It was goofy as hell, and it's all the way over into, it's a part of almost anime-ish. It was kind of over there. And I was like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? The score, everything was just off this season, as if there was somebody else responsible for this season who wasn't responsible for the first one, when that is not true. Plot motivation. I needed, which we're going to get into, our lead here, I needed a rational reason in real life, in real time, for me to really commit to him going back. Because why? Go back for what? The best thing he could have ever did was get on that plane. And I was like, are we going to go see the daughter? And I was like, oh, no, you're just going to take your ass direct. Terrible. We didn't even make it to LA to see our baby girl. We didn't even think about that. And we still haven't. We went directly to these games. All right. Yeah. There was just such a lack of depth with this show. Something was just missing entirely. And we're going to get off into the game execution because I thought that was lacking as well. But I kept it there because I didn't want us to be here all day on this. But the main thing was I didn't feel like at any point a season 2 or 3 was justified here. I didn't see anything here that was like, I can see why they continued on with these characters. They had so much more left to say. I don't see it yet. Maybe that's a season 3 situation, but this season does not justify existing. And I honestly don't think that we needed it at all. I feel like the first one was really, really good. And it could have been a limited situation and perfect just the way it was. Even the way we left out, even though he had that BTS boy band red hair, we could have just left it there. We could have just left it there. I didn't think it justified existing, which says a lot. Ashley, did you feel like we needed any additional seasons of this show after you just briefly watched the first season recently?
Yeah, so here's the thing. I was down for a season 2. I was like, okay, after that, maybe Gi-hun can be redeemed. Maybe he's going to take these billions and go do for whoever what he needed to do, right? And maybe he can, in a smart way, infiltrate the system and bring it down. He's got billions of dollars. So here's my thing. And we help writers around here, okay? So my thing is, you in Korea, honey, you get a face transplant. You infiltrate, you become one of the big wigs, you become a VIP, and that's how you work it. You don't get a ragtag bunch of untrustworthy goons to come in and plot out the man in the suit for 2 years. Are you kidding? You've got more money than that, sir. You've got resources. You've got stacks. Did you see all that money laid on the table and he pinched it? He pinched off of it, sir. You're not serious. You're not serious about handling business. So no, I do think a season 2 could have been amazing. I really do. If they had kept the same energy they had in the season 1, I think they could have, or make Gi-hun even more terrible. Even go that route. I could have been contented with that, and him finding himself in another situation that landed him in the Squid Games. I could have almost been here for that. However, no, based on what we got in this season 2, they could have kept it. They could have kept it and kept the reputation of season 1.
This was a yes or no question.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I just said, because we help writers around here. EJ, do you feel like, because you're fresh off of that first season 2, do you feel like this should have existed, or we could have just been one and done at season 1?
Okay, there's a couple of ways that I'm going to answer this. The first thing is that if we had just ended this season season 1, like if we had just did maybe like a couple of other things, maybe left it up to our imagination if he got on the plane and we just all assumed that he got on the plane, I would have been okay with that. And we could have just went on. I would have been like, oh my God, that was so amazing, blah, 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 right? And I would have been cool with it. If you're going to bring back a season 2 though, like the first thing we not gonna do is make this man come back with this red hair. That was, that irritated me so badly. So that was the first thing. If we're gonna do a season 2, we just start over. We start over with new. I don't want to see Ji-young no more. What you know? I'm sorry, y'all. I don't want to see him anymore. I want to see brand new people. I want to see a whole nother set of people that I can just be ticked off with and be PO'd with. Okay, but not him. I think that's the route you go if you're going to do this. You start over every season and make people hate people all over again. It'll feel different. You know what I mean? Like that's the way I would have went with this.
That's the right way. That's the only way to go, EJ. I would have been so here for them if they could have incorporated him on the back end in a different way. I'm also here for Ashley and a face transplant. I would have been here for a whole bunch of things, but I think that the premise of this show works best with a new batch of folks, like every single time. Because when you give us people that we've already met, been through things with, there are certain expectations that you have going into a second season, and I don't think we met them, not just with this character, but every single character they brought back from that first season. But let's move on. Y'all be sure to keep commenting and super chatting if you would like to, and letting us know how you felt about this season. I thought this season was goofy, but we start here where we instantly like pick up directly where we left off. I was like, oh, we ain't going, oh. But just to start, I wanted to start with our three guys here because these are the main ones outside of the front man who returned from the first season shenanigans. And we're going to start with old Slappy here, aka the salesman, to kind of get into more of that first episode and just where we were going with these characters. But for that first episode 1 and 2, which is also an issue for me, like season 1, I was engrossed. When I tell you I was with the show, I was so into the show. So to kind of start here with those first, couple episodes, us just seeking out the salesman and getting into this Russian roulette, it was different. It was a change in pace. But I will say that as far as the salesman, I really like the mystery of him. You don't know anything about him. You just know he going around propositioning people who are at their worst, trying to be an opportunity, take this, it's the whole situation. You don't get it, I'm gonna slap you. Flip it over, I might give you some money. I'm here for that. But when we get into the inner workings of his mind and we get into just this world, this underground scenario and what it can do from a person, we do find out that he's worked his way up from being somebody who went, from a circle to a square to a whatever. And it's just all of this corruption. He is absolutely insane. This was different. I was not expecting this with him, but I don't know why. I kind of wanted him to dial it back a little bit. I was here for the insanity, but it kind of got caricature and over the top to where it kind of took me over into that anime territory. I think I was cool until he started stumping out bread and sandwiches in the middle of the park and, get this lottery ticket. I think I was cool there. Even if we could have maybe left that out and got into the Russian roulette in a little... There was just a tone issue here for me. It kind of got into cartoonish territory, and sometimes we would kind of bring it down. But we get into him and just how your mental can be broke from being a part of this organization. EJ, what did you think about us seeking out the salesman in this whole game of Russian roulette?
I think that the first formula worked. I did not need to know more about him. I didn't really want to know more about him. Honestly, I like the mystery of this character. I think that we just should have left it the same way that we had it in the first season, where we didn't have a clue, where we saw him. He did the diabolical stuff by getting the people in, and then that was it. I don't think that we needed this. Even though the Russian roulette scene was kind of intense and I knew it would kind of go the route that it went, I still didn't even care about that particular scene because I just don't think that he was needed. I don't think we needed to know about him, but this just goes back to the whole point of we didn't need to go back to Ji-hun, and that brings all of the things that come with him. You know what I'm saying? Like, we didn't need to go that deep into the salesman. Let's just keep the same formula.
It was. It got over into goofy because first we're not gonna act like baby not fine. I ain't gonna say that, but I know this man can act. Like, I love this man. I can't think of his name, but maybe him and Train to Busan gonna bring me to tears every single time. But him along with these henchmen that we have over here, these are the same men who were trying to chase down Ji-han first season because they owed him money. They were kind of goofy as well. I just didn't know exactly where to get with this until we eventually get to Ji-han kind of taking this game of Russian roulette into his own hands, letting this man know that he means business. But I can't completely commit to this with Ji-han trying to infiltrate the space when all along this man has an invitation, this card in his pocket. Every single step of the way, this organization lets Ji-han know we are 17 steps ahead of you. We know what you're doing before you do, and yet we dive into this world with absolutely no type of real plan. Ashley, were you here for us seeking the salesman?
I think they ruined him for me. I enjoyed him. He was some of my favorite moments in season 1. I adored the situation, honey. The dodgy game, slapping the dog mess out of Gi-hun. That gave me my life. Do you hear me? Like, I loved every. I said, smack him again. Smack him again. He deserves it. And so when they take him on this tirade and we just find out that he's this unhinged maniac that we really didn't need. He wasn't the contact. Like, we didn't need him. Just get the cards from one of the people. Like, we didn't need him. So I don't know why we had to go through all this and find out that he's just an egomaniacal psychopath. Like, I don't know why that was necessary. And the way that they dragged it for multiple episodes, it felt like it was 2-3 episodes where we're on this cat and mouse chase thing with him. And again, what purpose did it serve, especially for him to die so quickly? I'm like, if you're going to make him this super villain that's a psychopath that's doing that, why not let him cook a little bit? Like, let him cook and do his stuff on the back end with this ragtag team of goons that you got. You know what I mean? He can be working on them while you're doing whatever. I think that they squandered his character because he is big fine. I was annoyed in that damn park. I said, oh, you're just mean and miserable. Just to be mean and miserable. Talking about, yeah, I worked for him. I was in the pink Teletubby suit, but then they gave me a gun and I like how it felt. Boy, shut up. Shut up. Shut up. And you're going to really lose in a battle of wits against Gi-hun? Talking about you're just a dog, you're just a grunt. Well, yeah, he is. Like, I don't know. It didn't make sense to me. It wasn't this astute businessman, salesman that we had met season 1. Like that salesman we met in season 1 wasn't gonna fall for any of
Absolutely not.
Crap. And so I don't know why it was such a departure for that. But no, he was not the golden goose that Gi-hun needed to spend 2 years searching after.
Well,
this was a waste and a wasted character for sure.
Almost 3 years for what? Like, I was like, we're see. I mean, I guess we're supposed to get it because this is his last real connection to even get back into that space. But like, from the way they executed it in the show, baby, all you had to do was ask. that's what it sounded like. All you had to do was put that little card over and ask. But yeah, the Russian roulette and the intensity there, it just, this man in here watches a lot of anime. It just, all he needs to do was animate it. We would have been there, honey. We would have been there. But yeah, I thought with the way they were setting it up, I was like, I wonder how long he's going to stick around. Let me find out. It was like, no, absolutely not. But we have him also, before we get to Ji-hyun, we have Jun-ho joining up with Ji-hyun and retracing these island steps. The old man on the boat is an op. Clearly, I don't know why. Who was that set up for? We knew that man was an op from day one if you're watching enough TV. But I really thought they were going to go somewhere with him. And maybe, of course, this is a build up into that third season. But to bring him back, because I think everyone who watched, nobody actually thought he was dead. And he is doing the exact same thing, but less of, because we're not even, infiltrating the space. We're on the outside world just being lost until we run into Ji-hyun and, somebody who actually believes us that this place exists. And we just have him, with the tactical team just out doing nothing. I was like, what the hell is this? Why would we bring him back for him to not be of use? The only way that he could have been of use is if on the outside, before Ji-hyun went in, if he could have said out of his mouth, I don't know why we're still saving it, because he shot you with no problem. Yes, that is my brother. This is what he looks like. Mm-hmm. So we could have at least went in with some type of plan, but we didn't even do that, which gave us, I don't know, we're supposed to be waiting until he figures out that this old man that's been selling him around and we just can't seem to find this island is an actual op working for this organization. Ashley?
We knew Captain with the good hair was problematic the first time we saw him. We knew that he was on the payroll and that Young Lee or whatever his brother's name is, we know the front man. We knew that he was a paid person sent to save his brother. We knew Captain with the good hair was an op from the beginning. That was pointless, driving you on that boat in circles every day. Like, come on, you got to be smarter than your average bear. And you're a detective, sir? You're a detective? And not at any time, I think my brother's been brainwashed. He's working for them. Be mindful. This is his name. But he did give the name, which again made me question Gi-hun, because are you delayed, Gi-hun? Come on. I need you to do better. He gave you the man's name. How many people have that name? I don't know if it's common or not. But yeah, it was, for this, special, what did he work? Special cases. He SVU, Special Victims Unit, and you can't figure this out, sir? And then you get this ragtag team. They just going in, opening cellar doors. Who does that? As soon as they went to that door, I said, oh, y'all finna blow up. You don't think they have this place rigged? I said, it's in the mountain, baby. You got to find the proper entrance. They're not getting those minivans through that hole. Like, they just acted so dumb. And then they had this elite force of black ops, which were big fine. We're the leader of the black ops team. Baby, we're not even gonna pull any punches. Big fine. But he delayed too, because nobody saw through Captain with the good hair. That's all I wanted to know. It was just really a waste and a subplot that absolutely went nowhere fast. What was the point? What was the point? We reveal him as an op. He throws somebody overboard. Then what? We got to wait till season 3 now? I'm sick of these people.
That's how you're doing that going on. It's like, who is that in the back? Why y'all wasting all these fine men? That's why I sent y'all that TikTok. Who is that in the back? Who is that in the back there looking fine, holding that gun, doing nothing, but looking good while he doing it? I didn't know what that was. I think we all knew that thing was rigged. Like, I just expect more from him. He seemed really bright first season, and it kind of feels like we dumbed him down. So we could waste him now to hopefully maybe do more with him in the next season. But, you don't get to play on our top like that. We need to do something with him now. EJ?
I completely 100% agree. This was dumb on every level if we weren't going to use him. But once again, it brings us right back to the very first thing. And that's the fact that we never needed Ji-young to come back, right? We needed him to come back because we knew that he wasn't unalived in that first season, right? We needed him to come back, but with a stronger, it had to make sense though. Everybody saw the little fisherman dude. Everybody saw that coming from a mile away. Like, everybody knows he was an op. I'm not sure why he didn't know he was an op, but yeah. And we knew that his brother didn't unalive him.
But EJ, why would we have a little henchman at the top? Oh, Joe, who your friend? You tell him. Well, I tell you everything. I should tell you the whole plan. Like, why would we have these characters here? Why are the characters so damn goofy, EJ? I need answers.
I don't know why they was goofy, girl, because I was like, when he started telling him, I said, oh my goodness, really? You talking to the ops? Stop talking to the ops. Like, it was crazy to me. But I do think that they definitely underused him, and that we definitely could have did something else with him. And them going into that cellar thing was stupid. We all saw that coming from a mile away, that everything was about to blow up. It's like Ashley said, y'all know that they are using trucks or whatever they're using, vans. They using vehicles, man. They not going in this way. And if they have been protecting this secret for this long, you are not going to get in this way. Like, let's just keep it real and be honest with it. And then, I don't know. I don't know exactly where they could have went with this character, but I know that he had so much more that he could have done besides what they did here. I didn't get enough of the side story. I didn't even understand what exactly. I understand they were trying to find the place, but I would have liked it better if they had actually found the place. You know what I mean? Like, I would have liked it better if we had figured out that the op was the op, and that we then found it, that something else happened. Just something else had to happen. I just needed something else. Anything but what went down.
I don't know, because I'm like, you've infiltrated this place before, and it wasn't from no boat. So he just became that protagonist running around, not being believed and being annoyed because nobody believes him because you don't have proof. Like, but they didn't even come fly down and get you when you caught him. Like, this department made it very clear that they don't believe you. But yeah, the fact that we would have been just flailing out here in the middle of the ocean if we didn't meet Gi-hun. Like, oh God, he got all the answers now. All right, let's get into him because I feel like they wanted to transition his character into being that man this season. But did it really work? Because what? He learned nothing. he has not learned a damn thing from last season. This moral savior complex that he has going on. Wait, free. Like he was trying to conduct them games and this, like the fact that every single plan that they had rolled on this tracing bug that they were supposed to have in the back of his molar that was out before they like that's all y'all had. All this planning for that they removed immediately, and as soon as that happens, you are at the mercy of these games and these institutions like everybody else. Like, what kind of plan is this? What kind of plan is this? Like, I don't get this moral complex that he is having which I do understand. I do like it when we get into the front man and he kind of puts in his face exactly what you're doing. Don't come in here like it's a moral thing. It feels even less moral than it was the first season. The rules are different in this game, which we are going to get into at any point. Once the game is over, you are welcome to leave. These people are voluntarily staying here, wanting to play just like you did. Remember last time when y'all left and came back in the whole nine? Like, this is not your decision to make whether or not, like, don't save her. She don't want to be saved. But we can have all of this morale in the world for these strangers, and this is blood money, and I don't need it, but we cannot make it on a goddamn plane to go and see our own daughter. Like, I don't get it. But the plan was just insane. And I was like, how do you expect us to root for him and follow him when he is just pretty much at the mercy of these other games like everybody else? And of course, what we're going to get into, how do you get here and fall for the banana in the tailpipe again? They tried to repeat the same scenario. Oh, we have a childhood friend here in the games again. And not only that, but we are going to have you link up and fall for the front man number one again. You went over here with number one and acting y'all just best friends skipping through the goddamn corridor and stuff. Like what is happening? How did we go and fall for the okie doke again? Ashley,
I was trying to give Gi-hun grace, and then you got to remind me of all the stupidity. Because when he said, oh, okay, we're going with plan B, you know, they walkie-talkie and, oh, we're going with plan. I said, oh, they got multiple plans. I said, oh, Gi-hun was planning. I said, oh, he finna do his big one. Like, it's going to be exposed by episode 6. The penultimate episode, we're going to get to it. Gi-hun's plan is going to be, Gi-hun ain't got no plan, man. He ain't no plan, sir. Not at all. Not a little bit. And again, them using the same number, at this point, we just know 001 is going to be an op. If old man, he got my tears, I'll never forget 001. Anybody with that number is going to carry that legacy. So here's the thing. Gi-hun actually went in here and I said, oh, look at him. He wants to help the people. He helping them red light, green light. But then I thought to myself, how long does he think this is going to last? They're going to mix up the games, fool. They're not going to let you save these people. This is part of their entertainment. Gi-hun, and it's like he acts like he was never there, just like the detective acts like he was never there. I said, the detective, you done caught bodies, multiple bodies there. You done infiltrated, you done unalived the VIP. You done made it to the throne room. You know your brother's running ish, and you don't know how your brother operates. You can't shed any light. And Gi-hun just went in like a lamb to the slaughter. And you know, at this point, he gets what he gets. And then this plan where the patients overtake the asylum, crazy as hell. Crazy as hell. I was just waiting for the fake Marine to shoot everybody because he didn't even know how to hold the damn gun. Gi-hun, with all that money that he pinched off on, should have had an army, a military strategist, in addition to the face surgery. I mean, this 2 years, and you couldn't play. He's delayed just like I thought he was first season. Still awful. Listen, I was trying to give him grace because I said, oh, he saved a few lives. He told the people to sleep under the beds. You know, he was trying to do something. But no, he's a failure. He fails at life. He fails at everything. Talk about I can't spend the money because that's them people's blood. Fool, that's your money. You won the game. Do something with it. Like
Actually, I was trying to rock with Ji-hoon even when he found out that transplant was no longer in that molar. You're out here in the water alone. When he announced, I have been here before. I won the game. Boy, why would you tell them people that? Why would you let that? All right, even better. Not only can you help us? But we see the product, somebody who made it, you made it out, got the money to even come back here in the first place. Hell yeah. What do I sign up? Like, why would you tell them people that? That made me so mad.
Yeah. He had one job. He had a couple jobs to take care of them people, them few people's families that he agreed to. That's all he had to do, and go see about his child. That's all Gi-hun had to do, and die. Pay his taxes on them billions, pay off them people, and go. That's all he had to do. He couldn't do that.
No, I just thought if we were going to bring him back here, we were going to transition him into be a real badass. And I think that's what that setup was supposed to be with the Russian roulette. Like, I have autonomy over this situation. I'm not afraid anymore. This ain't the same Gi-hun from last season. I'm with it. No, you're not. No, you're not. Up in there, got his little arsenal and everything. He got, he practicing aim fire, got a little team. I was like, all right. And you went there with empty luggage. What's wrong with you? EJ?
I'm not afraid anymore. I mean it. I'm not afraid
Girl, the way I disdain, loathe, can't stand, hate, I absolutely think this character is the worst that I have ever seen. Not only did they try to give you a comeback story, not only did they really tried hard to make you redeemable just on some level, you failed at the redemption. There is no redemption story when someone is irredeemable beyond measure. I mean, this character, let's start with the first thing. First of all, you're a horrible father, which makes you a horrible individual. You went to the plane. First, you dyed your hair red. That was horrible and diabolical in itself. That was stupid. Should have went with blonde if you're going to go with any color. Then he gets there, turns around, doesn't go see his baby girl. You ain't seen your baby girl in years. This baby just been holding you down, just trying to be a good daughter, and you don't even go and see this daughter. And here's the thing. We be talking about, we're saying that I'm supposed to have this moral complex, right? Mm-hmm. And I want to go save these people and I want to do all these things. But what if you had went in there and got unalived? Then your daughter would be without her father. What about that particular portion of it? What about that part of it? Why are you such a horrible father? Why do you suck so bad? Like that irritated me. So that was the first thing that irritated me. The next thing that irritated me is that we get in here and we give up the play really quickly. That, oh, I've been here before. That was stupid on every level of stupidity. If you learned your lesson, if you really about to go back up in here, right? Then the first thing is don't trust number one. Who trusts number one? Like last time, didn't we learn that last time number one wasn't who you thought he was? So in my mind, I'm always going to think that number one is not who I think it is, especially the way that he was coming to you, talking to you, kept trying to be in your space.
Whatever you say, just tell whatever you say.
Something is wrong, and you are stupid for even believing this. And then the next thing is the fact that you still suck. You still didn't learn your lesson. How are you going to sacrifice the few for the many? That's stupid. That's dumb. Like, you are just like the rest of them. You made a choice, and everybody else in here made a choice. It's like I keep saying, the first go around, when they don't know, okay, grace, right? When they doing the red light, that they don't know. But when we get back in there and you get a chance to make a choice to go home or stay, and you made that choice to stay, and then you actually got out and brought your behind back. That money is yours. Take that money, do what you need to do, and go on. Because I strongly believe, y'all, that if his mother had lived, that he would have took that money and lived his best life, and he would have gave a damn about them people up in that game. And that's for real.
EJ, I really don't know with Gi-hun, like the way, because we're not gonna act like he was giving a damn about that mama while she was barely alive and kicking. You didn't care about the daughter. Went over there and beat up on her daddy after you begged him for money. You was doing too much, sir. You was doing too much. Like, I just couldn't believe he came back here and felt like I was like, y'all could at least gave the man a different number, like something, or at least had let him in on the joke and had Jun-ho on the outside say, this is my brother and this is what he looks like. So at least he could have known what he was working with this entire time. And we could have had some, will they or won't they, find out, will he know? Like, he's think he's getting the upper hand as number one, like old man did last time. No, I know exactly who you are. I could have went with that. Like, the fact that he just fell for it and excused everything. Like, Ashley, did you care at all about the dimension that they tried to give Gi-hun here with his best friend now being in the games this time? I was like, why the hell is he here?
No, 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 no. Because I remember this said best friend, and they were both at the gambling house being degenerates together. Like the man said, my wife left me because I used to hang out with you. Let's be honest. Gi-hun was a terrible father, but he was a terrible son first. His mama went out this world with the sugar diabetes. She was back breaking and he was stealing money. He was stealing money. He stole her credit card or bank card. I mean, and then gambled it. So Gi-hun has never been good. I think he was just the better of all of the worst compared to everyone that we got in this new batch of people, because these were some really terrible people. And so I think it made him look less bad, and it does seem somewhat noble, right? You're going back into a game that you won because you don't want people to go through all of this. But now that you guys mention it, I really do agree, EJ, that this was about his mama. If his mama had lived, he probably would have gambled half of these billions away. They probably would have already been gone up the street, up his nose, at the casino, at the betting house. He probably would have had all of that gone anyway. And honestly, I didn't really give a damn about his best friend. His best friend pissed me off. When that man said, I'm going to vote to go home, and went up there and pressed that circle, I said, you're trash. You deserve to die in the next game. And I didn't do that in the first. I wasn't rooting for people to die except for that one bad guy first season. I wanted all these people to go. I said, kill the curly haired.
I love the bad guy. Actually, I love the bad guy from the first season. They were so intricate and so interesting. And I think we can't give the same levity to these characters because with every single character there, we got to know their arcs on the outside, why they would participate or even come back to the games and all that other good stuff. But it was just lacking here. I love the bad guy. He was freaking awful.
I still wanted him to die too. Yeah, I want all the bad people to die. But this season, I wanted, like I said, the curly haired black, half black Korean. I wanted him to go when he left his mama out there. I said he could die. Kill him next. I was trying to kill the people off for the Squid Games, for the VIPs. I said take him next. Take her next. Take that witch first, because I don't know how she's made.
We're gonna get into these damn characters, because Lord, they managed to put so many of them in here that meant absolutely squat that I didn't care about. EJ, did you care at all for this best friend and him being here? Because you know he has to matter. So when he got in the end, it's like, oh no, he was so hurt when the man got taken out.
So first of all,
wait, hold on, EJ. Hold on. I want to say one more thing. He had one job. If you see somebody choke, if you saw the front man, number one, choke somebody out and kill them in your face, just so it could be two of y'all in that little room doing a little merry-go-round game. That's all you had to say. You couldn't even get that out. After that, I was like, okay, you're dead. Go ahead, EJ.
Because what they say, if you see something, say something. I mean, everybody knows that rule, and I'm pretty sure it's universal. So, anywho, yeah, I didn't really care about him that much, you know, like, and when it all comes down to it, I don't believe this friendship is fake. It's not real. He doesn't care about him and he doesn't care about him. All they care about at the end of the day is the money. He showed that when he went up there and he took that doggone blues, zero O, it's like it was an O. When he took that blue, you know, when he chose to stay, basically, he showed that he didn't care about him right then. And there was a lot of these characters in here that didn't care about the other people that was in the building that they, you know, had relationships with or that they knew. All of these people were immoral, in my opinion. But specifically this guy right here, I don't believe in this friendship. I believe that they leaned on each other because they had similarities in the sense that they both were gamblers. They both liked to spend money and they both were on their way to nowhere. Their lives were going nowhere. They ain't ish. I ain't gonna say I ain't gonna say that. They ain't ish. They not ish. And so I think that's why they kind of linked up together. But if we really think about it, if this was your friend and he came over there and asked you for some money like he did back in season 1, regardless of what you thought was going to happen, especially when you found out what was going on with his mama, you would have gave him that money. You had that money up in there. You would have gave it to him. They not friends, Tyra. It's not a real relationship. It's what it all boils down to. And I didn't care about him getting got. He needed to get got. I wanted him to get got a long time ago.
It felt like they were trying to kind of recreate that first scenario with the long lost childhood friend who was also in there that he went against, you know, in the end, because they were the only two survivors. Yeah, I was like, this not that. This is not that. Don't try to make it that. Let me go ahead and read this super chat. Thank you so much. Brittany E says, he had more character arc in season 1. Absolutely. It was everybody had more character arc in season 1. Season 1 was amazing. I couldn't find one flaw with that first season. I thought it was great. Here, you know, not so much. But we're going to take a little pause for the cause. Thank you so much for the super chat. You guys be sure to super chat your opinions if you have any of them. I'm going to give y'all a moment to hit the like button and we're going to come right back. Shout out to the 93 people here. We appreciate you. Thank you. We'll be right back.
Дрифт? Да. Дрифт в каком-то смысле? Да. Знаешь, есть такая знаменитая картина. Там, где женщина все время улыбается. Там, где женщина все время улыбается. Правильно, Мона Лиза. Ну так вот, эта машина Мона Лиза Дрифт-гонок. Эта машина Хан по полной программе ее нашпиговал. Хан по полной программе полный поршень. Твин турбо. Поставил новый коленвал, новый штопор. Поставил новый коленвал. Чувствуешь, к чему я веду, чувак?
All right. Thank you guys so much. Hopefully everybody had a moment or two to hit that like button. Let's get into these other folks because we got a whole lot of new characters here, and it's only right that we discuss most of them because now this was interesting. We meet eventually who becomes number 11 here. We spend an ample amount of time with her, and I was like, oh, it's our new, Gi-hun. Like, let's, get into somebody who clearly is down on their luck. She is sleeping in her car. We find out that she is in search of a baby girl that's been missing. And she is working at what looks to be, a knockoff little Disneyland. And she kind of has this almost forced connection with a little girl who is ill, and the dad to kind of give her some levity when she gets in these games and she sees this same man here competing for his daughter's health, and it gives her this kind of complex. But we get into her not being a participant in the games, but she is actually, she got the blicky. she is, willingly shooting these people and participating in them, but it's not a complex of her. She has no problem with taking lives. It's more so what they are doing with these bodies afterwards and collecting these organs. She's like, no, I want them to shoot. I'm shooting and I'm shooting for dead. And this makes her a potential threat within the organizations, but we don't immediately take her out. We harass her, toy with her. I was unsure what we're going to do with her, but maybe that comes more to light in that third season. I did think the switch was interesting when we found out that she wasn't a participant in the games and that she was more so somebody behind the mask, but I didn't feel like we went completely somewhere with it to where I was 100% invested in her. But we do know that baby she gonna rise up and come back, because you're not gonna come in, harass me, mark me up, and then I not do something else afterwards to retaliate. Ashley?
This was probably my biggest letdown and disappointment of season 2. When I met her, I was so intrigued by her character, knowing that she had been in the military in North Korea, was a fighter, was kind of known for her prowess as a fighter, had a 1-year-old baby, had to leave the baby. Now she's on this mission to find her child. And this is kind of what falls in her lap. So when I saw her in her Teletubby suit, I said, oh, what the hell? And not only that, but she's a sharpshooter sniper. I remember red light, green light before. It seemed like those were automatic weapons just built into the sides of the walls. I said, oh, now we got sharpshooters out here ready to do the job. And I was like, okay, girl. But I thought she was going to be like the inside man. I just knew Gi-hun had her on the payroll. I said, oh,
no, please.
You cooking, baby. I said, we got one on the inside, and she's a bad girl. And then I said, okay, well, that's not going to happen. But then after she's brutally rebuffed and accosted by these other Teletubbies, I just knew then my good sis gonna fight back. She gonna start. She gonna see Gi-hun because she watching, and she gonna go in there and she gonna slip him a note. She gonna be like Detective was first season. Like, do you know who is? I just knew it was gonna be one of those situations. We was gonna make a connection, and by that penultimate episode, by episode 6, it was gonna come out. This was a waste of a character. I thought she was strong. I thought she was unique. I thought her perspective was different than anybody we had seen thus far. And I think they just left it flat. So disappointed with this because I thought we could have gone somewhere. I thought we were cooking with this. I was like, okay, something's gonna happen, and nothing.
Giving her those moral complexities, like, oh, it was all fun in here, and I see somebody I have a connection with because they tell her, you know, you need to shoot that father. He moved. She can't do it. Like, it has to be something that's rolling over into the third season. But yeah, I thought just maybe Gi-hun had her, like, you know, a gun in the wink. It was like, no, he don't know this woman. She don't know Gi-hun. He in there with everybody else, just like we thought. EJ, what did you think about meeting number 11 in her POV? Because it was at least different from everybody else's.
Yeah, honestly, this was probably the most excited I was throughout this thing because I was like, oh, okay, finally we get because I honestly didn't see that coming where she was going to be, you know, the triangle, right? And I was like, oh, we're getting a whole nother point of view from the opposite side of it. Because I ain't gonna lie, the first thing I said was, oh, so they picking them up in trucks now? Oh, they giving them better, you know, it's like they ain't, you know, smoking them out and stuff. And then we find out, oh, this is from the opposite end. But then to find out that she had been doing this for quite some, she had been part of the games for what, 4 years or so or something like that. I don't know. They gave a time frame, but I can't remember what it was. But she's been doing it for quite some time. And I was like, oh, okay. So now here we are with another morality thing, because not only that, but you're knocking them off, but when you see that dad, you can't do it. You move from him. But everybody else you're knocking off, because in my mind, she doesn't want them to suffer, but she uses the thing as this was the task I was given, yada, yada, yada. But I saw it as she doesn't want these people to linger and suffer. I didn't really see it as much to do with the organs and things like that. I just thought that she wanted to put them out of their misery, you know, as simple as that. But I am interested to see what is she going to do, because I needed her to do something in this season right here, but I hope that they have her do something in next season, because I felt like she was going to be the one that was going to turn. Like, now that these people done turned on me, now let me get in here and turn on them. But you know, we didn't get that from her. We didn't even get no get back from her. So I don't know. I just need them to do something, and they need to do it ASAP is what I need to happen with this one.
I'm gonna wait because it's coming. We know that it's coming. I just I guess we were supposed to be intrigued by the recruitment process of these people on the other side of the gun, and just kind of, it's the same, you know, recruitment for all of them. Somebody at the, you know, the end of their rope, she's seeking her daughter. These guys said they could help me with it. Fine, I'm a sharpshoot whoever I got to get my baby back. Cool, but I thought I thought Gi-hun had, you know, say, hey, I'm gonna put you down. Like, no, Gi-hun is in here with the rat race and everybody else just completely defenseless. Thank you so much, Darpalina, for the $5 super chat. The deadbeat is addicted to gambling with his life now that he can't steal from his mother to gamble. However, he was before. Child, I don't want to go back over there into the waters with him. I thought he was just finna come in on some Terminator stuff. Like, no, you are at the mercy of bullets, just like everybody else. Like, we know one thing, he don't care about being a dad. We know that. He don't give a damn about that baby. I don't know why he pretends to. But we also have these two here. We get into Ashley. We get into this mother and son duo. I've been reading y'all comments over there in the chat. He definitely abandoned this lady. I don't want to hear nothing about him being snatched up. If it's your mama, ain't nobody. He didn't even try. It was just like, you know, maybe if she dies out here, I don't have to have that complex of pressing this button or that button because she's not on my neck anymore. I can just stay here and keep playing because I really want the money at heart, but I also want to have this good son image. Child, he left that lady. He left that lady. Like, I mean, this was different. I'm trying to think as far as the game show. I haven't seen it in a minute, but didn't they have a mother-son duo in the show? The reality show?
Oh, no, I don't know. I didn't see that.
I think in the reality show, if I can remember, they had a mother and son there. I believe so, but if so, this is interesting. But yeah, these were they were okay. I wasn't totally committed. Of course, we have a matriarch here who is going to do the things that a mother does. You know, she's doting and loving and caring and all that other good stuff. But yeah, ma'am, your son won ish, and I think she gonna find that out in a very strong way, probably in the third season, because baby, he left this lady. EJ, what did you think about this mother and son?
Well, I did like the mother, but the son is trash, and that's just straight up. He really did leave her. Did he try to fight a little bit? Because I've been watching y'all comments, and he did try to fight just a smidget, but he gave up that fight real quick. It lasted a nanosecond, however long that is, but I know it's a very short amount of time. That man did not try to fight and get back to his mom enough for me, because the way I would have been back over there with my mom, the way I would have stepped on somebody's foot and gouged somebody's eyes out, my mama ain't finna be out there. If we're about to go out, if we're not about to get back in these doors, we're about to go out together. We're about to go out in a blaze of smoke together, because ain't no way y'all gonna drag me in here. I would have ran back out the door. Y'all would have got, because the way I would have ran back out that door once we got up, it just wouldn't have happened. This man had no fight, and he did what he did because of his selfishness. The same way he went and put that doggone blue tag on, knowing goodness well his mama was there. I don't understand this. Your mom is there. There is no way that I am putting on a blue tag saying that I want to keep playing this game when my mother is here. Bump all them debts I got, bump all them people I owe. If anybody gonna go, it's gonna be me, but not my mama. Like, we not finna do this. We're not even finna play this game. Not at all. So I never liked this character. I had no sympathy for this character, no empathy for this character. I ain't give a darn about this character if we just keeping it 100%, but I did like that mama because she was sweet and kind, and she was always trying to feed people, and I like to eat. So I liked her. But that was it.
EJ. That means she gonna get it in the end. You know the good people don't make it.
I know, girl.
The good people don't make it. But what we not gonna do is act like he didn't leave that woman. Maybe he left that woman. Like, maybe with her off my back, I can focus on this money. Ashley?
What Santana said, he left you for dead. He left you for dead, Granny Tsunade. That is exactly what happened with his biracial self. I am so aggravated by 007. I hated everything about him inside and out. And she knew her son wasn't ish, because in the first place, she's there because of her son. She says, I'm going to help you pay off your debt. That's the only reason I came to them games. And you, knowing that, walked your happy curly haired tail up to that table and pressed that O, talking about, Mama, you don't know how much it is that I really owe. So not only are you a liar and a miscreant beyond all, you're a terrible son, and you left your mama for dead. It wasn't bad enough that you got her involved in the damn Hunger Games of the Squid. You now are putting her life on the line. Literally, she would have been a goner. If Gi-hun and 001 wouldn't have snatched her up, she would have been dead as a doornail on that merry-go-round. And then what were you going to do? At the end of the day, again, she knew her son wasn't ish at the end when he tried to act like he was going to volunteer to fight. She said, baby, sit down. Go on and sit down. Like, I know who you are. And I hated everything about it. And I said, and I looked at the back, he's got to be biracial. Because I said, is it a perm? Is it a curly perm? Is it something? But I looked back at that kitchen and something told me different. I said, okay. I know us. I know when the melanin crosses the line a little bit. He's from the diaspora, y'all. And it's so disappointing that would be our first inclusion in the Squid Game and he would be this sorry. But I stand Mama Tsunade. I think she's that girl. And I actually loved how she was a mother to the motherless out here. We know them other babies had trauma and she was willing to step in, be inappropriate, but she was going to step in. She was going to love them. She was going to doula for them. She was going to do all the things. And he's just a miscreant. And she definitely will die in season 3 if we see her.
I was like, Mama went through them slaps to get here. You went through them hard ass slaps with the salesman to get here, Mama. Like, ow, girl, your trash son. And he knew he left her. That's why he came out. I'm sorry, Mama. No. She knew he was trash. She was all hurt when it was like, yeah. So your son, he didn't try to. You don't know my son, girl. They gonna uphold these little ratchet sons in this show if they don't do nothing else, baby. Rapper Thanos. Bullies, druggies, and murderers. Where they find this man? This is when we get over into the more so cartoonish elements of the season. Baby, this did they feel like there was a lack of Gen Z representation last season? Did they feel like it was too serious? Like them and these, I mean, they tried it with the first season and Miss Mama's, you know, she got a lighter in there and her cigarettes and it helped her, you know, etch out the cookie and whatnot. The lighter was one thing. This man has a whole cross full of all kind of hallucinogens and drugs. And he's running around with his little murderous team. Like, they are just awful. I didn't know. I don't know. We need a real bad guy or whatever. We need a good villain in this premise. You need a couple of villains, but rapper Thanos and the corniness, them fangirling, him rapping lyrics when he's not high during these games, he's out of his mind. So they're running around but still managing to not die. Like and then we put the bully aspect on there, which was just annoying and gave it a tropey feel of like every other bully trope that we've seen, especially like in the horror thriller type of space. I didn't like that. He was giving Stephen King bully. I just didn't. I just didn't. Ashley.
This bothered me because, baby, if this is what you think of Gen Zers, just don't show them. This was terrible. From the girl who got right at red light, green light, because she was going to be a problem. At least she would have been interesting, more interesting than damn Thanos, who didn't even have bars, sir. I'm like, BTS would never, you would never be out here misrepresenting the culture like this. This was a disappointment to me. And it wasn't even good. It wasn't even like the scary bully. It was like they had no motivation. They didn't have the courage of their convictions. It was just so fake. Like, if oh boy just would have stood up and smacked them, like that's all it would have taken. Just smack them in front of everybody. But it was just, it didn't give the intensity that I would have wanted in order for these people to be cowering in fear the way that they were with him. He was a joke. His little partner, little simp guy was a joke too. And I just thought it was a terrible representation of Gen Z. I said, is this what you think the children are? And when old girl says, well, do you have all the Infinity Stones? I was tickled. But again, this was just for kicks and giggles. That's why I was like, are we watching like a drug-induced fever dream? It felt so whimsical. I'm like, he's got the purple hair. He's skipping through the meadows. And I'm like,
his polish, his tattoos, and clapping his feet together, like, yeah, he was having a good time. And it was all under the guise of, I'm high, so I don't really care that our life is in jeopardy. But the bullying aspect and the whole, like, he was trying to give prison. Yeah, you mine. Yeah, you my slave until I was like, what the hell's going on? Is this prison? It got real eyes for a second, and he didn't warrant none of that prison energy that he was trying to put off on that little other influencer. EJ Thanos and the crew.
Girl, first and foremost, I was offended that they gave him the name Thanos. I said, y'all should have named him something totally different, because what we not going to do is name this man Thanos. Okay, that was the first X right there. And then, most importantly, the bullying, the way these bullies came across was just inauthentic to me, to be, for one thing. It didn't feel real. It felt completely off the wall. And then when they introduced the fact that these drugs were a drug that wasn't like a real drug, like like some other drug, I don't know, I think they said something like it's a new drug or something like that. I was like, well, what kind of, like, what does drug make you do? Because what they're doing is completely, like, most drugs either take you up, they take you down, the things that drugs do. What the heck was this drug given? Because I don't know, because I feel like when your life in danger, them drugs, all of a sudden your high gone. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't never took drugs before, but I just feel like if my life becomes in danger, all of a sudden them drugs is knocked out of me and I got some common sense again. But he pushes the people. You remember in the first red light thing? I was like, what are we doing here, sir? You
what
skipping?
EJ, what did he say when he pushed you?
I can't remember what he said.
I think he said tag. That's what he said.
Tag, yeah, tag. And I'm like, sir, what are we doing? That was just, it was just crazy. It was craziness all around. Even when, oh boy, what was his name? I call him the front man. Even when the front man beat him down, he still didn't care. It was like fat meat wasn't greasy. I'm still gonna keep going after little mean song, whatever his name. Y'all know I ain't gonna try it. the little dark haired boy. He just kept trying to go after him, like regardless, kept trying to bully him. And when he used the slave word, I said, now you are going way too far. Like, we doing way too much. First of all, you can't even stay lucid enough for anybody to do anything to anyone. Between him and this other guy, I can't stand him. I don't even remember his name. But
no, EJ, but did anybody think Miss Mama's here at the top was gonna live? Like, I thought we were gearing her up to live and have a little, I'm gonna take you out when you least expect it, because we have a little spineless guy. I think his name was Misu or Misoon. Yes, I was like, useless.
I thought that she was going to get unalive saving Misoon is what I thought. But that's what I thought it was going to be. But I knew she was going to go up out of there. But the fact that the little cowardly boy just didn't do anything, you threw a bottle down there. I'm like, bruh. And then she told him, like, the reason why I chose you is because I trusted you. And then you do the whole, girl, all these people are just, it ain't no coming back from these people. All of these people can just jump off a cliff, okay, and fall hard and lose all their organs. They can just fall out. They can just jump on them like that dude did on them dang on sandwiches. All of these people suck.
I think emotional balance coach. I think with the drugs at this point, just like Miss Mama's last season with the lighter, or even the mom here, she snuck in her little knife with a little hairpin, which I'm sure she's probably going to use later in the next season. I think that they are allowing certain things to come in to give different levities and things to these games, because there's no way you let him come in with a whole cross. As soon as he just has his cruel intentions, he got a whole cross full of drugs, and we just let him bring it in. All right, yeah, I think that's that, but. Yeah, I can't say I was mad, even from a villain standpoint, to go, I'm gonna miss Thanos. He was a really good villain. He got killed already. Like, yeah, your whole little team can go.
That other dude from last season was way more of a villain than this guy was. And I honestly liked that last guy, even though I didn't like him, but I did like him as a villain, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I thought Misu, I thought he was gonna save her, like finally get his little spine, because he showed where his loyalties lie the first time, and it's like they don't care about you just as quick as you chose sides, and they pushed her out, they pushed you out, and you just happen to get saved by someone else, but yet you go and you link up again. But I thought his arc was gonna change because they're expecting him to vote differently. When he gets up there, he's pressing something else. He's all cowardly. I was like, all right, this is your moment to shine. When he shanked her, phone checked her that many times, I was like, oh, so you really ain't gonna do nothing. Okay, this isn't what I thought it was. This isn't what I thought it was. Oh man. Shout out to the 110 people here. Thank you. We love having you guys. Be sure to comment what you thought about this season. Now I got Bitcoin here, but it was crypto Bitcoin. It was one of those. Can't remember. But he in here for scamming. You're scamming, and every Gen Zer in here has a vendetta against this young man, because I bet on this crypto because you said so as this big influencer, and I lost all my money. I want my money back with interest and blah, blah, blah. But they add a whole different arc with his story, because we have this pregnant girlfriend in here. The way I could give a damn. What the hell is this? Why? I'm trying to think of Miss Mamas. I can't remember her name, but the young lady who was trying to get her brother back, and she was also a pickpocket, and she had that relationship with you. She was so good. Yeah. Even the other young lady there who we didn't get to spend a whole lot of time with, who was more kind of demure and quiet, and she just had no lust for life because she had already come from an abusive background. So when they get to the marbles, she's like, I don't even care. I don't care if I live or die at this point. Good story, good characters. Miss Pregnant here, and us, offering her our food and trying to make sure, and every 5 minutes she says she don't need anybody, and I'm okay, and I don't need any help, and grandma's trying to, grandma, because baby, you're very pregnant. You're about to drop at any moment. So we're going to have to look forward to her having a baby here, whatever. I don't care about these people. I don't care about this. At least Thanos was entertaining, if that's what you want to call it. I don't know. Even though it was over the top as hell and very cartoonish and changed the whole tone of the show. This here, I don't care. I do not care. I don't know where we're going to go with this young man. He went from being bullied. He, kills Thanos. And he's trying to rekindle this and we can get out of here with this money and raise this baby. Matter of fact, if we put our money together, then we could really like, excuse me? What the hell are you talking about? Yeah, what are we supposed to do with these characters, EJ? Because I don't care about either one of them.
Girl, listen, first and foremost, I really thought she was going to drop that baby when she was in the bathroom. I was really hoping for it because I wondered what they would do with her dropping a whole baby in there. What y'all going to do next with this when this baby come out? But then when all she did was like, I'm scared. I'm like, where is the baby though? Because that's what I needed to see. Have this baby in here and let me see how this game reacts. What are they going to do? Are they going to be real diabolical? Is they about to unlock? Like what? I had a lot of thoughts, but then it didn't happen. So I was like, oh, okay. But yeah, I mean, I just thought it was, I didn't really care that much about these characters either. I mean, I did like the little pregnant girl because she did give me a feel of the other girl from the before season, and only in the sense of just how just she was just quiet, I guess you would say, and just kind of there, like the other girl, not the one that made it closer to the end, but the one that gave up her life for her. Because I did actually like that character, but we did grow to know those characters a little bit more. So I guess that may be the difference. We don't really get to know them as much. We get a little bit of a story about, about the YouTuber and yada, 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 and all this stuff. But it didn't have a connection for me. I really didn't feel a lot of connection to any of the people in here. Like, I didn't have empathy for them. I shed no tears, y'all. And I know if y'all been rocking with me over here, y'all know I shed some tears. I ain't shed none. Not even one single tear, Tyra. Can you believe that? Not one.
Nope,
I don't care nothing about none of them.
Baby, the way her and that baby could have alley-ooped and I wouldn't have gave a damn. I don't care about these people. It's lending more to the goofy, eccentric side of the season that I do not like, and that just made me want them to get out of my face. Ashley.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't episode 6, season 1, because I was boohoo, shed some real tears about that damn old man who was an infiltrator. But yeah, this season elicited no emotion from me, at least not any tears for fears at all. Yeah, I didn't give a damn about 333, because at the end of the day, you're stupid as well, because who sells crypto and it wasn't even your crypto? You still not rich. You done sold all these other people's product, and now they said they in Thailand, and you still stuck here in debt owing everybody. You're a dummy. And then when he approaches her and talk about, and if I take my share and your share, that means I can pay off all my debts. No, it doesn't. It means that you can leave here by yourself if you leave at all. I don't know. I was torn about Prager's. I didn't really care too much one way or the other, but at one point I wanted her to stand up. You know what I mean? She was like, I'm scared. Grandma, the mama was trying to be a mama to her and help her through it. And she was really rejecting all that. Her primary focus is on protecting him. And I really wanted her and her baby to be centered if they were going to go about it this way. I feel like at the end of the day, these games are completely unethical, but they knew she's pregnant. Yeah. And so I think they're going to sell the baby on the black market. They sell body parts. They don't sell that baby if she have it there. And I mean, girl, what are you doing here? And I don't even know if she really did this all about the baby. I really question her motivation for even being a part of the Squid Game. I don't know. I didn't care. Either one of them. She could have died in that bathroom. It really wouldn't have made me any bit of difference, him or her. I was finally happy he used that action and got rid of Thanos, because I was sick of hearing Thanos talk. Yeah, that's all they did for me.
It took for him to get strangled to almost lifeless, for him to be like, all right, now it's time for me to shank you in the neck. I was like, okay, about time. It's about freaking time. But yeah, we'll, I guess, be looking forward to these two in the third season. We also got these folks. We also got these folks. We got Hyunju. Am I saying that right? Hyunju?
You asked me one person.
The transgender former soldier with the heart of gold here. We got the cult-like loudmouth shaman and the fake soldier who had one job. So you had one job. That pissed me off too when we got into, I'm a Marine. Oh yeah, I'm a Marine. Yes, sir. I was like, what are we doing? If y'all don't get back to the show that I liked, salute again. Do some dumb shit again. That made me mad. Please. No. He was annoying. This shaman up here. I wish they went even harder with her. I wish they really went even harder with her. I don't know if y'all seen The Mist, but that heifer in The Mist, can't think of her name right now, but that cult-like biblical heifer in The Mist who got all those people to listen to her and follow and hang on to her every whim because they thought she was speaking from this enlightened, clairvoyant, shaman-like. I wanted them to go there with her. They didn't give us enough of her. When we did get her, it was, like towing the line of me taking her serious and it also being comical and anime like. So I just but if we're gonna commit and introduce a character like this, because she didn't die, she's here to wreak havoc, cause chaos, and do a whole bunch of nonsense and have people, because we see in the end that lady just like, oh, we got somebody on our team, she's gonna choose to go because she chose last time, and she's just sitting there, breathing over the whole. I was like, what? Can we do something with her if we're going to have her be in this kind of position in these games? Our Ha-joon here. I like this character. I like this character a whole lot. I had a good time with this character because I didn't know where we were going to go with this. Were they going to acknowledge it? And then when we get the mom in there, she's like, is that a man or a woman? Like, they doing that now? You can do that now? It's like, yeah, mom, you can choose to be whatever you want to be now. It's different now. So I like that acknowledgement. But I was like, don't bring, characters here to have them. We know our characters who come to die. We know our characters who come to die in place of somebody else being a savior. And I feel like she is one of those characters, but I didn't mind the character. And it was one of the newer additions that I actually liked in comparison to some of the ones that I didn't so much. EJ?
Man, okay, let's start with Fake Marine. Fake Marine, I actually started out low-key kind of liking him at first, too. I was like, oh, okay, I might like him a little bit. And then we had the crazy shaman. The shaman, oh, God, when I tell you irritated me, but probably irritated me more than the crazy chick from last season. I don't think you can match that level of irritatingness from last season. I didn't think you could until I met her, and she irritated me in a different way. She irritated me because she was trying to push off this thing, but when it all came down to it, she was just as scared and really has no faith in her faith. You know what I mean? Like none whatsoever. So you're right. She is going to be the person that instead of leaning towards that, she's going to lean towards, let me just get in as many people's ears as possible. Let me just lean into this evil side instead. And then when I saw that lady change her vote because of that, I said, oh my goodness, y'all are weak-willed people. Come on now, think for yourself. Like, what are we doing here? So definitely not invested in this character, ready for her to go. But if it's like you said, if they are going to do it, they do need to go all the way with it. If we're going to do it, go all the way with it, because the way that old girl dropped old boy when she pulled him down with her when they went through that glass, well, I was living for that moment. I said, now that's how you do it right there. I don't know what we finna do with this lady. And quite frankly, if she leave or go, I leave or go, that's the same thing. Whether she stay or go, I really wouldn't care one way or the other. Now, the transgender former soldier was out here taking out bodies. I was like, we in a game of Halo for real up in here, because they like, you know what I'm saying? Like they really, she really getting it in. And so I was like, okay, I think I kind of like this. But every time you have somebody who is a good person in general, because I wasn't mad when she chose the blue or when she changed her mind and chose the X, because when she chose the blue initially, I think she was just thinking of herself. But then when she got to know a few people, she went and changed her mind and chose the X. It felt genuine. It felt true. But these people don't last long in these shows. You know what I'm saying? And it is what it is. I was hoping she was about to go out in a blaze of glory if she was going to go out, though, because she had all that ammo. I said, let's take out as many of these people in pink as we can. But then the mama going to stop her. I was like, what are you stopping her for? Let's shoot it out up in here. But, it is what it is. I didn't get that.
Okay, corral.
Actually, what you think about these folks?
So, yeah, Hocus Pocus, she could go to the hot place immediately, exit stage left, because, baby, you don't even have the courage of your convictions. I, too, is like, if you are going to be a shaman, be the shamanist of the shamans. I need you doing your little whatever in the background. I need you making sacrifices. Go all in. Go deep. And she was just sorry, just a sorry weakling. And that was like it kind of made her character forgettable for me. I was like, girl, what's your point? Like, what's the point of you? Marine too. He too was very forgettable because we clocked his tea very early on. Like, this baby just want to be loved and accepted. He was raised with his mama, with all the girls, honey. He played the little girl game too good. He said it was done in 20 seconds. We knew that man wasn't no Marine. We knew how he was carrying on. I thought he might have had a thing for Hyun-ju, but apparently they didn't go that route. I really enjoyed Hyun-ju's character. However, I really want writers to stop stereotyping trans people, people in general, any people group. I really need them to stop acting like every trans person is damaged emotionally and is having all of these issues, because I don't think that's true for everyone. I didn't need Hyun-ju to be not feeling loved and accepted and all of those things. I get that's a part of some people's story, but I don't think it's everyone's story. And I hate that they kind of stuck with that narrative. I wish they would have branched out a little bit with her character, but I enjoy her. I think she is one of the purest hearts of all. I do think that she should have decided to go home before her girl died, because that baby crying, Uni, 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 that broke me down, baby. Outside them gates of it, out the carousel. Listen, that broke me down. I needed her to have made the right decision before that. But that's the only I have against Hyun-ju. And I just wonder why they do that. It'll be like gay characters, trans characters, black characters. It's like old characters. They try to lump them all in this box. Like, stop it. Just give us some diversity here. That's all I want.
We gonna get the tropes. I already knew she was there, for the money, so she could transition fully in the whole. I already knew they were gonna go with this character. They only tend to go one way. I wouldn't even want her. Like, why she gotta have her heart to go? Why she couldn't be a maniacal, manipulating asshole like everybody else and just be like, we don't know which way she going. She gonna go over here and be chummy with the females. Like when she did that little, that was my favorite part. When she did that reversal, like, I'm transgender. I'm still, both of them under here, girl. If you don't make this goddamn spinning top spin the way you said you was, I will not, girl. Bang, like, make me do something else. Make me lay my hands on you, because you talked all that mess up there, talking about you knew what you was doing. Spin the top, heifer. I was here for that.
That part, I ain't even lie. I was here for that too.
Here for that when she hit her in the nose. I was like, yes, hit her ass again, because you did all of that. Lord, yeah, we. I want more of that. More of that, less, I'm gonna down the front lines for these people. I ain't gotta do that. I ain't gotta do that. But I'm here for it. Speaking of spinning tops, we have different games. Outside of, red light, green light over there, we have different games this season. The games for me, they didn't hold the same weight as the last season. Because, baby, pins and needles. And that's another thing with these episodes. The way that they would leave off with the cliffhangers in the first season, it was really, really good, to where you was like, come on, little credits, hurry up. Come on, so we can get to the things. Like here, it was just like kind of in the midst and in the middle of the episode, to where you didn't really care. But these games here, I don't know if it was the whimsy of the season or even just how it looked, or the choice of games. I don't know. The stakes were just not as high for me. Like when he had that little dream sequence and he thought that cookie was 11 million triangles. Like, oh hell. I was like, oh, this is what because we knew when he got there, and it's all, I've been through this, they were gonna change the games. But the stakes in the other games just seem so much higher, and the scenarios just seem really, really high tension in comparison to these games for me. Ashley, what you think about the games this season?
Yeah, they were lackluster to me, probably because, of course, we had already seen red light, green light. I wanted to feel what I felt in episodes 4 and 5 of season 1, when we're seeing damn tug of rope and people dropping through the floor, or when we have the false glass and I gotta jump, hop, skip, and jump to get where I'm going, and we were shocked, mouths open, a gasp. That's what I was waiting for, and never ever got it in any of these games. I mean, the little room thing was cute, and the little, what is it called? It's not a tilt-a-whirl, the carousel, the merry-go-round. I was like, okay, but it still didn't hit the same. Like, nothing was quite hit, not even their little Pentathon or whatever they called it. I said, what is that? I said, is that a marathon, a triathlon? What is that? Pentathlon. It just didn't hit the same way. I wanted that. I was like, give us the false floor. Who can see the tempered glass? Who gonna fall through? And then you see him go kersplat or something to that, extent. But no, they did not deliver the same way. It was, and I get it. They had to change it up. The first game, you had to have red light, green light. That must be a staple. But we knew as soon as Gi-hun started running his mouth, they were going to change everything. But no, it didn't hit the same at all for me.
Let me get this super chat, EJ, and I'm going to come to you. Thank you so much, Darfalina. I enjoyed this set of side characters because they were completely different than what we saw season. I wanted the same ones, Darfalina. Same ones. It's the same ones, new bodies. Like they could have been these same characters, but I think that depth that we got in that little time we spent with them while we were spending 2 episodes finding the salesman, we could have been getting into these people in any kind of way with their outside ambitions before they got to these games. Thank you, Darfalina. EJ, what you think about the games this season?
If I could find one word for it, I would say trash. That's just my new word for a lot of things here. First of all, the only time that I really got into any of the games was when they were doing this little triathlon, whatever you call it, pentathlon, whatever it was, when they was all tied up together. I did find myself going 1, 2, 1, 2, get y'all across the, you know what I'm saying? I found myself doing that, and I was like, oh, okay. But the games weren't high stake this time. They just weren't. Like the glass thing to me was the most genius thing. When we were going across that glass, the way I was gasping, the way I was like, okay, who finna be cutthroat? Who finna jump over there and try to push somebody through to make sure that this is the tempered or not? Like, that's the type of games that I want to see. Those games were crazy. The way that Umbrella popped up, even with the cookie game, I was like, oh yeah, Umbrella. Oh, ain't no way in the world. You know what I'm saying? Like, those games had really, really high stakes. And I think that when we saw Frontman's face when what's his name was trying to tell what the next game was, I think when we saw his face, we knew that the games were going to change right then. I felt like he might have sent the signal up saying, hey, change this stuff because this is not the way it's going to be. The way that they did that little dice game and that little thing, I think that was probably one of the more interesting parts of it. I was like, because ain't no way in the world. I think all of y'all should have been unalived at this point trying to throw these dice up. Reminded me of jacks a little bit. You know, like, remember how you pick a jack, you throw the ball up in the air? I was never coordinated enough to do that. That might have been a little jealousy coming out of me. I just couldn't do that. But yeah, the games they just weren't, it just wasn't enough. Like, that was the beauty of the season 1. Was the games, like you said, tug of war, man. The way that I was in that tug of war game, acting like I was part of it. I was like, come on now, like
we was all pulling that rope.
Listen, leaning back, looking to the sky, like the old man said,
thrusting your pelvis up to the sky because we got okay.
So much. I think that's what was missing. Like, those games require a little bit more calculation and effort and thought processing on your part versus, all right, 2 people can only get in the room at a time, and if you don't get in there, then you're getting shot. Then it's just like, oh. And speaking of getting shot, where was the blood? What was the carnage? People was dropping. It was so much like really great practical effects last season of people getting shot, bodies compiling, being dropped, them plateauing, face planting on that cement dark bottom, and you just see guts and brains all on the ground. What was the guts? What was the brains, man? What was the blood? It was missing. I needed some more of that. Just saying.
It was, because them brains was like, ooh, I was like, woo, ooh. But it wasn't none of that this go round.
And I don't think we put any real levity into these games because we were more focused on making this the game. This was the game. This was the game. And once I don't know what episode it was when we kind of zeroed in and focused on this scenario more than before. I was like, oh, this is where our strong intent is going to lie and who's going to vote where, creating a divide between these people. So as soon as we have that scenario, like we had first season, when the lights go out or when somebody has an opportunity and they want the vote to shift, somebody's going to try to eventually take somebody out. Because we spent a lot of time at this voting booth. I was like, I mean, it was cool. It was cool, but we know with this show that these people ain't going home. If they go home and everybody votes to go home, unlike last time, because that was like, I think either the second, third episode where people actually voted to go home and they ended up coming back because what's really out here for me, except for the same damn problems, these were a different set of folks. We already had loudmouth ass, I've been here before, I've played these games. You'd already gave levity to these games to let them know that they could win money. These people were different in acting on their own accord on whether or not they wanted to stay here. And we gave them room with a different set of rules of it's not just a one and done thing. After every single game, if we take this vote and enough of y'all want to go, y'all are free to go. And then y'all get to split the money instead of I think it was last time, the people who died in the games, they get the money and you get nothing. I was like, these people ain't going nowhere. So this didn't do anything for me. It just do anything for you?
Well, the only thing it did for me was confirm and solidify that these people was trash. Again, that word again. These people, everybody's moral complex comes into question when we get into this right here. When we get into this vote right here, this is where it takes another turn for me. I can't have sympathy or empathy for any of these people that's over here on the blue side at all. The very first time after we get the opportunity to walk away with a little bit of money, because guess what? Even if you walk away with a little money, it's more money than you came in there with, okay? And you can go do all the same things that you was doing before, because let's just keep it real. You're not going to pay these debts off. You're not going to do any of this when you get this money. You finna go probably create new debts. You probably finna do all sorts of other things, but you're not finna do what you're supposed to do with this money. So I didn't care about none of this stuff that these people were talking about, how they were going to pay this, that, and the third off. No, you're not finna do none of that. Oh boy was already trying to go find the next crypto scam or whatever he was trying to do. He was already trying to find a new thing to invest in with old girl money. So I didn't believe in none of this. And I was just like, see, this is the problem right here. So why should I care about any of these people when all they want to do, they see that people are dropping like flies. They see that they're unaliving people, but y'all care more about the money than you do about life. And you're taking a 50-50 chance on your own life. You don't even care about your own life because it's 50-50. You either gonna make it or you not. And most likely you probably not. And you can't trust anybody in here, but yet you keep going and you keep doing it. And it's the numbers for me. It's the sheer amount of people. Because you would think that after they saw all those people fall, after they saw all those, that this was real, you would think that that number would shift and that it would never be that close and that everybody would take their behind up out of here. But no. That number always stayed leaning over there to the blue side. I said, all of these people are immoral and they all deserve to go to hell. Bye.
I think I couldn't get into it because it wasn't just the voting. This was put here for the front man to play devil's advocate with Ji-hoon. And he was already stupid when he got there. So this just proved just how, because he's basically telling him the scenarios and what's going on, and it's just like, well, it's probably going to go this way, Ji-hoon, because these people, they don't really care. They're going to make these decisions on their own accord, you see, and he's just like, oh no, we got to do something. We just going to let the chips fall. We got to do something. Like, there's nothing for you to do. As they stated, the best thing that you could have ever done was try to take that money and go take care of your daughter, because if you think, and that's just him being under the impression that these games are happening and existing only in this one place. Like, come on, Ji-hoon, you know damn well these games that have been going on for years now, this is definitely not the one place, the one island where it's happening, but you think you just want to come in and be the one person to shake it up and stop it all. Are you insane? Not even that, but that's not your responsibility to do. Just like last time, even with you, nobody forced you to be here. I like that morale situation, but him being devil's advocate in the front man and that kind of back and forth that they have doing this voting, it just showed just how stupid he is and how goofy the scenario was. Ashley.
We know Gi-hoon has delusions of grandeur at this point. He feels, I think, that he's invincible. But if we go back to the car ride when we finally meet the front man, the man in the mask, and we have a conversation in the back of a car, and he says, listen, these games are never going to stop. The nature of man will not change. People who are in this situation are inherently evil, and they're going to do whatever it is to feed their greed, to feed the need. There may be a few off chances, but for the most part, People are always going to opt into these games. The games are never going to end. It's big business. And this was just an example of that. This was all to prove a lesson because we know at the end of the day, Gi-hun is not going to be killed and he's going to be forced to watch everyone die again. Which my thing is, why would you put yourself in this situation to be traumatic? You had one job. Take care of that damn child of yours, even though I think he got a better father. All right. She got a better daddy in the US now. Take care of that little boy you promised you was going to take care of and not give her to that elderly woman in the market. Like, okay, drop off a suitcase and a child. Like, Gi-hun thinks he's something he's not, and this definitely was to knock him down a peg or two because people ain't changed since Adam. These people were terrible. This was a worser batch of people than the first season because at least them fools said, we're going home. This is traumatic. I saw her get her head blown off. These fools were like, oh, see, we barely lost anybody. We're fine. We're good to go. We just do one more game. One more game. Oh my God, we can put our
I know more people died than that. I just got out of there with the skin of my teeth. That number needs to go put some more money in that pig. I know more bodies dropped than that. I need y'all to die. Like that shift of if more money is put in here, we can go. That just gave them more levity. Like, we need people to die tonight. We need them to die instantly as soon as we touch down in this room. If that means I can maybe get out of here with my life and maybe go home with more money. But Gi-hun knew from how it was moving, they were never going to want to go home. Every single game is going to be, okay, well, let's keep playing. Let's keep going. Okay, now I need this. I need that. Like, I want to know what these people were doing to be so damn severe in debt because they was breaking down their bills. I was like, what the hell? What's really going on?
60 billion, 60 million, girl.
Just one more game. I said, if somebody say one more time, just one more time, dang it.
Yeah, and my thing is, you now all of a sudden worried about this debt that you let accumulate and get this crazy. Now you worried about it. Oh, if I just do, I can do 2 more rounds and I'll be set. Really?
Because you're not going to be set. It's the whole thing. You're not going to pay that debt off is what it all boils down to. That debt is going to still be a debt when it's all over with. They weren't going to pay that. I don't believe it.
This reminds me why I don't go to the damn casino because I do just one more game. You get your hands get this like just one more penny slot and I'm gonna walk out of here. No, you ain't got no money.
That's that
putting all your funds on the table. Wasn't nobody gonna leave, but we couldn't accept that because baby wanted to be the hero here so bad. Like the last episode, I was like, what? This is what we were gearing up to. This was your big plan at this moment and your last result because you never really had a damn plan. It's to take over and go kill everybody in the room, and we're gonna get to the main chamber, the center, the core, the higher ups, and kill everybody there and take over these guns. But yeah, what about all the people who have to die for us to even get there? And what is that really going to change? Yeah, we can sacrifice what are you talking about? Like, what? This was such a stupid plan. This was a stupid plan, and I hated that just because these people felt indebted because he's helped us a little bit here. Did he really, besides giving y'all information for that first game? Because with everything else, y'all were at the mercy. He was at the mercy with you guys like everybody else. But everybody gears up to be a part of this ragtag team of nothing, to get shot. Like, they know, and he knows front hand just how many guards and all the guns, just how far the rabbit hole goes. Like, it's more, you're not only outnumbered, outgunned, out everything. There's nothing that you haven't done outside or inside that they haven't knew about and planned for you to do in the first place. And then this whole time you've been confiding in number one, aka the front man, the man behind the mask. This was a fool's mission. And I just couldn't believe you brought all these people here with you to die. And it's messed up because they're gonna die. They don't want to kill you. They don't want to kill you. You were brought here for these people to teach you a lesson. To let you know you're not stopping nothing. Stop searching for me. Stop spending your money, your ill-gotten gains. You're not stopping anything. You were brought here to be taught a lesson. So everybody else around you is just martyred to just die, including your little bestie. Ashley.
Maybe this is when I was like, oh, Gi-hun got the pink Teletubbies on payroll. I said he got a few of them on payroll. They finna switch it up. It's gonna, because there's no way you're going with 10 people with an army of damn 500 going uphill in a place that you don't have keys to anything. You can't get behind no door, sir. Where are you going up all these infinite steps? You're never going to arrive. Even if 001 wouldn't have been the mastermind of it all, you still weren't getting anywhere with this bunch. You ain't have no ammo. They didn't halfway know how to use a blicky. Like, it was terrible. This, again, I was like, Gi-hun had all them billions. He spent something and he got somebody on payroll on the inside, and they're going to come out right now. Tyra, I was like you. I was double tapping, and I wasn't even on the computer. I was on my remote control. Double tapping, like, get through this mess, because I know they're about to die and they're gonna prove you a lesson. See, this is what it gets you. Your best friend, he gone now. All right, this was so anticlimactic for me. It was so dumb, so stupid, so nasty, so rude. I hated it. I hated everything about it, Gi-hun, because you don't give a damn about the people. Again, this just goes to show who you are as a person. You could care less. This was about your ego-centered mission to think you could take something down that you never had the power to do. Clearly.
Didn't give a damn. I wasn't even mad at little baby who had one job. He was like, I couldn't do it. Like, I don't blame Bip. Sit this one out.
He's back there rocking.
He's back there shaking. He's like, I'm sorry, I couldn't do it. No, I couldn't go up there and just sacrifice myself and die. It's one thing to die in one of those games at my own admission. Risking my own life. Y'all out here risking life for this fool. A fool and his money will soon part, and it will. EJ.
That's what it say. That's what it say. Okay. Listen, and even to take it a step further, we all know that they say that the root of all evil is money, and that is subjective because we all know that has it has a deeper meaning than the surface level of it all, and that's how all of these people are kind of where they are, right? Because everybody wants the money, but this. Oh, let me dial it back for a second because I need to think about this. This plan was probably the dumbest plan. This was the dumbest, stupidest plan that anybody could come up with. And it goes back to show why Ji-yeon-woo, whatever his name is, Sung-yeon-king, I don't know. It goes to show
Seong Gi-hun.
Yeah, him. It goes to show why I can't say it, Tyra. I be trying. I really do. It goes to show why he is why he actually is the worst person out of all of this. Because every time he chooses a moment where he wants to be moral, right? And where it's for the greater good. And then he chooses another time where, but we can teeter the line. We can do this. Because it's going to lead to the greater. No, nothing is leading to the greater good. You should have took your money and you should have went and seen your daughter, and that should have been it. I'm not even going to lie to y'all. I was sitting up there, the front man and me and him, we see eye to eye because every move he made sense. He made him question every last single thing. Every time he had something to say, and did he tell lies, though, is what I want to know. Did the front man tell any lies? He told no lies each and every time. You can't help but to respect that. You can't help but to respect how he moved in there. He set you up time and time again, got you to do this dumbass plan that you came up with, and now everybody is gone. And now you have no upper hand. You knew not how many people was up in there. You should have known that it was a lot, but you didn't know how many people was up in there. And you're going to take this little group of people and decide that you're going to go and take on the man who built the game, the man who has everything locked up, the man who knows every in and out. You can't even find the place because you are drugged before you even get there. So you don't even know where you're at, but you lead these people into the charge and these dumb people follow behind you. Like they have, like, I was like, y'all gonna really go? That's what y'all finna do. This is your best option. No, your best option was to continue playing the game and let what happened happen. Mm-hmm. And if you so happen to make it out and you win the money again, guess what? Go see your daughter. Go away. Just go do something else because this is not gonna end.
It's our only option to get out of here. It's like, what?
This was stupid. And then he still didn't figure out that who number one was. You still didn't figure that out.
Still corresponding. Yeah, tell them that they got extra ammo in the pockets. We need ammo up here. Get some. Okay, yeah, he said go around back. We gonna meet.
Even when he messed up that time and said your name and came up with an answer real quick, still the lights were
told
out.
this man who he was every step of the way. Damn near, he gave little inklings of, you know what? Why does it seem like he has inside knowledge of the games? Like, I've been here before, but he's never been here before. How does he know we're going to wind down? How does he know the ratio so quickly? How does he know it's going to only be 2 people next time? How does he keep, going off but still coming back unfazed? He's just, that damn good. Like, just dumb. I mean, I guess they
irritated me.
Even when guys sees them and there's this moment of recognition, nobody else saw that. Nobody else saw that. Even when he tells the story about his wife, because that was the real story, right?
Yeah,
about the kidneys and all that stuff. Like, you didn't pick up anything, Gi-hun. You just there. On a dummy mission.
Just on a dummy mission. On a dummy mission. There for no reason. Acting like you care about these people. Acting like you are going to go in and be this great savior, this great hope. No, the only thing you need to do is hope that you can get on that plane and make it there safely to go see your daughter and be done with it. Because why are we trying to do anything else? Why are you trying to go onto an island that don't exist to the world? The police don't even want to help. The popos don't want to help.
Yeah. DJ, if we're going by this game in this little wherever the hell they live, because all these people are always in very close proximity to each other, live in a little town or a little inch. Hey, I saw you in the market that day. 400 and what? What number is him? What number is whatever number he is?
456.
Girl, over 400 people are dying once a year, and nobody said nothing. These games happen once a year. 400 people. These people don't care. They probably in on it. Like, and him, I'm gonna go up there and I'm gonna stop this and kill. Who's in charge? Because this man here, even the front man, he was a contestant who won, who came back, and he's now. These people aren't in charge.
Exactly.
These are employees. Even the man in black. These are all employees. Who exactly were you gonna go kill? It made me mad. You got all these people dead for what?
Okay, exactly.
And like the big guy would even be in this same damn whatever mountain that they're in. He probably somewhere in a satellite looking from above, just watching everything play out.
Okay, exactly. And we know that the police chief or whoever that dude is, he in on it too. Like, these people are all in on it, bro. Like, wake up and smell the freaking coffee. Like, geez Louise. He just dumb. If he get unalive, Tyra, Ashley, I wouldn't care one bit. I would say bye. Nobody needed you anyway.
He needs to die. Him and that little delayed reaction to his bestie getting shot. He's like, oh no! I say, why your reaction so delayed to your bestie dying on the ground?
Maybe he's just taking it in. It shocked him.
So late. But child, that's where we leave the show. They have this little, what I think is like post-credit situation where it's like, oh, we're about to intensify it now with the hide and seek. It's 2. So I was like, now it's a boy in the game. I was like, you know what? I don't care about that. Y'all didn't do the games like I needed y'all to do this season anyway. EJ, how do you feel about season 3? Because it's coming. Are you here for it? Are you watching?
I mean, I'm gonna look at it. I ain't gonna say I ain't gonna look at it because I just need to see if Ji-hun gonna go ahead and get up out of here. I just need him to go ahead and be unalive, to be honest. Like, that would be my sole motivation for watching season 3 is to see him get unalive, because the way I'm gonna feel if they let him actually win, I'm gonna know that it was fake news all along. There is no world where he should win anything. There's no world where he should survive. He is not a hero. He is a wannabe hero, but he's not an actual hero. He is the absolute opposite of hero, and he deserves to die. And that's just point blank and period. So am I here for season 3? Yeah, I need them to unalive him though. I need him to go. And I am rooting for the front man. Shout out to the front man.
Season 3, I want them to wrap this up. I feel like that this is something they tried to stretch, because the first season, I feel like it was successful way beyond what they ever thought it was going to be, especially here in this market. It was Squid Games, everything. It was massive. So I think it was like, I think it was a victim of its success. Like, we're going to come back and have a second season, even a third one. I could have been cool with the first season. I feel like it's kind of tainting what the show represented and how well that first season was executed. I will be watching. Am I excited for it? No. Ashley?
I mean, I'm 2 seasons deep now, so I gotta watch it. Will I be talking about it? I'm not sure. And I honestly should have known that the front man was going to be him when Tyra made me watch that movie, I Saw the Devil, y'all. If y'all were not a part of the membership, you didn't see me and EJ watching I Saw the Devil, but this man was in it some 20 years ago, 15, 20 years ago. And he's still holding up today. You know, he's diabolical. If he had anything to do with that original movie, even though he was the better guy in it. So I'm just here for him at this point going forward. I just want to see more of the front man and what he's got to do. I want to see grandma. I want to see mama. I want to see what's going to happen to her and mourn her passing. Listen, and mourn her passing if that's what's going to happen. Honestly, y'all, Gi-hun could get the business the first episode. That might make me happy. And I need them to wrap up this subplot with this whole group of fine mercenaries. I don't know. I need them to get it together, and I need there to have been a secret plan all along. But yeah, I'll watch it. I mean, I'm 14 episodes deep. I gotta watch it.
I want people to pop out like, you didn't think I was that dumb, did you? I want some scenario where it's like, this isn't what y'all thought it was. See, y'all thought I was dumb all second season. This has all been a plot for a bigger mission. Hopefully, I doubt it.
I doubt
But
it.
yeah, if we were gonna bring this back, I really wish that we got a fresh crop of people, and we maybe could have incorporated Gi-hun somewhere in that way to see this is what could happen when you get these ill-gotten gains, and I'm gonna shell up a man even though I have all this money. Maybe it could have been that. I don't know. Maybe something, but this was not where I thought we were gonna go with this. But y'all, that's Squid Games. That is Squid Game 2, Season 2. Hopefully you guys enjoyed everything that we had to say. We definitely appreciate you guys for being here. But in a little bit, and I do mean a little bit, it is Saturday. And Saturdays are when we have our members only watch alongs. That means if you are a member on my channel, Ashley's channel, or EJ's channel, you too can participate, be in the Discord to watch what film we have coming Saturday. This Saturday is EJ's choice, and this is what she picked. We will literally be watching it in like 5 minutes. Here we go.
You like Thomas. You sleeping with her and everyone knows. You sleeping with her and everyone knows.
Your voice alone is too special. The dreams can cross me.
Dina's beautiful and she's always been beautiful. But I've got the voice, Curtis. I've got the voice.
When we're famous, I write great things for you. Curtis says it's the best thing for you. Effie, do it for me.
I'm very happy. All of our family is here tonight. You know, they really are. Our family is here tonight. You know, we're all here to sing. That song, we're all here to sing. That
What you over there hitting your note in the background?
Be prepared, y'all. Be prepared to be sick of me tonight. I'm just letting y'all know in advance.
Everybody who is currently a member, be sure to go get your snacks, be on time, meet us over there in the Discord and whatnot, so we can go ahead and watch, Jimmy Got Soul, and we're gonna have a good time. Ladies, anything else before we get on about here?
Nah, I'm good.
That's why you making it
I'm
face.
gonna block somebody in my comments because they don't know where they landed. Sorry, disregard me. But no, thank y'all so much for being here. We love y'all real, real bad. Hope to see you again very soon.
Oh, that's the comment, girl. Because I'm like, where?
I know.
Okay. We see you guys shortly. I'm going to take you guys out of here with Squid Games, and we see the members in the Discord in a minute. Good night, y'all.
Night.
Good night.
show.